So as I described yesterday and I fixed the graphic, here are the sets that I'll be giving away this month, in the month of May 2026, depending on how many subscribers we get by the end of the month. So if we reach all the way to 1 million subscribers, and it's possible that we do, and I will be buying and giving away every single one of these Lego sets to random winners who either send a chat in the live stream or make a valid post in the Versatile Fun Designs YouTube community. And if you have any questions or comments on the giveaway, feel free to let me know. And the terms and conditions are shown here at the bottom of the screen and also in the video description. But long story short, you have to be 18 plus, has to be legal in your part of the world, I have to be able to ship the set to you, etc. Stuff like that. I will publicize the names of the winners just to confirm that the prizes have actually been awarded. So I will set up my camera very, very soon, and then we will start the live stream. I'll also open the chat as well so I can see what you're saying. Please give me a moment while I set this up. I'll play the music as well. It won't be too long, no? Just give me a moment. I wanted to start the live stream earlier, but I got a bit delayed due to personal reasons. But better late than never, as they say. You should start to hear the music now. I'll put this up until I figure out what's going on with my camera. Something is not quite right. Let's try again. Yeah, sorry for the delay. Yeah, do let me know in the chat in the meantime. How are we doing? I need to get a charger. Yeah, I'm gonna need to get a charger for one of my devices. Otherwise it's gonna die and I won't be able to do anything, so excuse me while I go do that. I'll be back in less than a minute. I am back. I'm back. So I see a message. Yeah, I had to grab a charger. So if you're over 18 and you meet all the other qualifications, then you can enter the giveaway. If you're under 18, you'll need to ask a parent or guardian to enter on your behalf, and they can do that by sending a chat message just like you are doing right now from their own account. Right now I'm troubleshooting my live streaming setup. Everything is the same laptop, same camera as yesterday, but it's not working today. Not quite sure what's going on, so hopefully we'll be able to get started shortly. Right, time. Looking at the properties of what I'm doing to try to understand what's going on. Okay. I had to basically disconnect, remove it from the list and add it back, and it worked. So for those of you who are live streamers or YouTubers, if you're using OBS, that's essentially what you have to do. Basically, deactivate, refresh the device list, reactivate, and then it will show up. Okay, so yeah, it's working. Sorry again for the delay. There's always something. This time I already had everything prepared. Sometimes I don't always have everything prepared, but this time I did. But just randomly new difficulty that I did not expect. Okay, now we can get right into the build. Yesterday I started to build bag 7. I wanted to do like 6, 7, but I got a bit tired to time I did finish, but just randomly new difficulty that I did not expect. Okay, now we can get. And of course, if you're new here, please make sure to like and share the stream. Okay, so. Alright, so I see there's another person who. There's another person who says that you can join, so if that is indeed true, like there will be a verification, of course. But first of all, if you end up winning, because there's lots of people participate on all days in May, not just today. But yeah, if you end up winning, then there will be a verification, and if all is good, then I will send the prize to you. The prize, one of the prizes is in this Batman. This is one of the sets. It's brand new, sealed. I'll be giving it away, as promised, to an eligible winner. This is the other giveaway, so I will be giving these away for sure, unless something terrible, horribly bad goes wrong. But let's hope that never happens. And then at some point during the live stream, we will build this. So this is a Lego set that Comes with interesting packaging. I'll talk about this more later, but it's essentially a mini version of this big ship right here. So we'll come back to that. I just don't want to have like pieces from multiple sets all mixed up. That will get confusing. So we'll finish bag number 7 first, and then we'll move on. We'll find a good time for this, essentially. Alright. So just as a reminder, what did we build already? Well, start with the minifigure. We have... I like that the minifigure is not exclusive, so kids can buy the $10 set. This set right here, and you get basically the same minifigure. And this is what LEGO should always do. Yeah, you buy the $10 set, you get the minifigure. We buy like the $1,000 set, we also get the same minifigure. This shows the care for the primary customers of LEGO, who are kids. Of course, adults can collect LEGO if they want to. I have no problem with that. But there has to be a focus on kids and giving kids affordable, high-quality minifigures, and this is one such example. I'm quite happy to get this. Of course, I'm not going to complain if they give us more minifigures. Well, I won't say no if they give us more, but this, as it is quite good. As for the ship itself, you actually have to be careful here because this piece is a bit bendy, so if you can like knock it out of shape if you're not careful, but at least it's just one piece. It's replaceable if that ever happens. But this thing, as it's built right now, you see like bumped it into the wall. It's quite large. I love the drum lacquered silver. See how shiny it is? That's really, really nice. Really deluxe. But yeah, we'll be building stuff and attaching them to the ship as we go along. Right now we're on bag number 7, as you can see here. The requirements for the giveaway are in the video description. So if you scroll down, or if you're on a mobile device, you can expand the description. Like it says like, where it says like hashtag Lego, like people number watching hashtag Lego, then click more, and then you'll see a description there. Then click more again, and you'll see the terms and conditions. It's pretty standard stuff, like all giveaways need to have certain terms and conditions just to make sure things make sense. But if there's anything that's not clear, feel free to ask. Obviously, no AI, no scammers, no multiple entries. Still look better with the lights on. Yeah, there we go. As always, the challenge with these things is you need to build them from bottom up or from one side to the other. Yesterday we got this part built at least. Not that much done. We're primarily doing this today. This build is so long, like it's gonna be very long when it's done, you'll see. But you build them one at a time. studs on the side construction here. And these wedge pieces, you got to be careful because they can be quite similar. Notice that this is not the same as this. You got to make sure you pick the right one. Well, that seems to fit quite nicely. See, this gets pretty long pretty quickly. I wonder if they're going to be stable when it's all done. Good thing this is a play model. It's much more, sorry, display model. It's much more for display than play. Basically, you build it and you put it on a shelf. I'll still try to swoosh it when I'm done. I like to do that. Not really meant for that. Like the box, the packaging says 18 plus black background. Make sure, they basically want to make sure no parent is ever going to buy this for their kid to play with. They make it painfully obvious. I need a 1x6 tile, but I don't see it. See a 1x8, but not a 1x6. Where's this? This really a 1x8. Can be hard to tell sometimes. No, it's a 1x6 that I need. On the other side, it needs to be a 1x6 underneath. I think I'm making some kind of mistake, but I'm not sure what it is yet. So you have this piece, then 3 anti-stubs, then 4 anti-stubs. That part is correct. Oh wait, this. Yeah, this is the part that's wrong. I need this. I need this here. And then the other one, 1x8. See, this goes here, so I just have those 2 tiles flipped. That's the way to do this. Now, right now, all this is being held just by this one tile. It's not very secure yet, but I hope that it'll become more secure. It's like this whole thing can disassemble quite easily. But again, the standards for playsets or display sets are not the same. And so even on the box, it's not written that this is a building set, but rather this is not a building toy, it's a building set. Maybe I'll make those parts more stable at least. This goes here. Yeah, 1x2. So set the music to repeat. All right. Yes. Some similarly shaped pieces here. It looks like this is going to go here. Nothing else will fit. This probably goes here. Quite likely. It'd be nice to have another oval-shaped piece here. No such one is given. Perhaps either this or this will go here. Actually, this was two of them. Well, I know that they're not used in this particular part, so that means this has to go here. Again, process of elimination. Yeah, with this part as well. It's like the other extreme part. We'll come back to this at some point soon-ish. I think at this point it just makes sense to put this here as well. Actually, this is wrong. That's interesting. This can't go here, but at the same time it has to go here. We know it cannot be these two pieces, but it has to be a dark gray piece. Or there's something else that's wrong. Oh yeah, this is wrong. This should not be here. This should be here. This might not be here either. This I'm pretty sure goes here. Confirm. It's time to count the studs on this yellow plate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. This one goes right here. Exactly here. Into these. These are the ones we need to fill the space. How many of these do we need? Actually, how many of these do we need? 1 by 2 is in town. Looking at the exterior, because that's what I care about the most. There's 2 that are used, but not really. This one matters that much, so I think it's worth the risk. Put this here. And then this goes here and not one down, just due to the way this is done. We counted the studs. We know that this goes like this. That's more like it. This. I need more of those owl pieces. I used one where I shouldn't have. Or actually, 2 owls make this. So this will actually free up both of them for later use. Just see this. This. That solves that problem. Now I can put this here. More confident now that this will go here. Okay. Try to get this a bit more stable by adding one more piece at least. Curve slope. Yeah. Okay, that feels much more stable because before it was held only by 1 stud, now it's held by 2. It's fairly stable, at least for while I'm building this. Yeah, so short answer, yes. Yeah, so the parent account is eligible for the giveaway, subject to the usual terms of service. Thank you and your parents for subscribing. I appreciate your support, both of you. Not go here. It looks like it does, but it didn't. It's like over here. We're doing some unusual stuff here. Just disconnect this piece temporarily and bring it back. That's interesting what we're doing here. Basically, we're doing a stud reversal using these plates with bar pieces. We have anti-studs on this side and on this side. We're going to clip this here. I'm guessing that's just for greebling. Probably. Definitely an interesting way to do it. Actually, this goes here. Probably the angle has something to do with it as well. This is left blank intentionally, so what it looks like. This goes here. And there has to be something to fill this up, but it cannot be these two because they're used elsewhere, so it has to be something else. I don't really see anything else. Could be an intentional gap, but I would doubt that. Let's bring back this piece. This ramp piece here to hold everything together. It's a small mystery what goes in here. I suppose I could always fill it up with 1 by 1s, or at least one of the 1x1s. I'll say I'll just sacrifice this one. The color does not matter. Essentially, this piece goes here. Moving this way. Yeah, it's fairly stable, I'd say. If we got this right, this would go here. Be a wedge plate, small one over here. Yeah. The hinge plate here. Looking up that yellow plate, I'm starting to think maybe something was off here. Maybe I got it wrong after all. Yeah, somehow I got this wrong. I don't fully understand how, but good news is that it's a simple fix. Just need to get rid of this plate right here. Do that, then problem solved, as Kai says. Four. The other hinge. That's not right either. Did I make a mistake somewhere? Let's see. Well, this, then the white plate, two black plates, then that's the end of this. That part is correct. This goes here. So there's some gray piece that goes here. In fact, this one by one does not go in there. Maybe something else. Probably this. This kind of reminds me of the wings of the TIE Interceptor from 2024. I'm guessing this goes here. Landing wedge. There's a bit of an overhang here, but it's not a big deal. Probably an intentional part of the design. If you look at this, we'll find that this is the perfect place to put a bunch of these pieces. There's supposed to be stickers on a few of them, but I think I'll pass the stickers for now. Yeah, that looks quite nice. It's starting to fall apart. Just press it back. Alright. Other than this off color, maybe it's intentional. Maybe it's intentional, so I'm not going to complain about it too much, but other than this one off color, everything here is nice and clean and consistent, either light gray or dark gray. They could have made these maybe drum lacquered. I know they're going for a certain look, but imagine if they made all of this drum lacquered. That would have been elite. Maybe in 10 years from now, I charge like $20,000 for it. Actually got what's wrong. I made a mistake. But the only one I got right is the first one. All the others are wrong. So it's basically off by one. This can be stubborn to remove sometimes. There we go. Mando got kicked down. Back. All right. We're done with this part. I just have a few more things to do on this other side, and I already pre-built part of this. A few pieces left. Oh, and it turns out I have one more of this piece that I ended up could have put that there, but I suppose it doesn't really matter. Now this thing is done. This is supposed to be here. It's gonna be like a slight angle. Trust myself from yesterday, and this looks like it could make sense. Oops. And Mando gets the long end of the stick in this case. Now here it's obvious, it's just these three. Wait, what goes underneath them? Yes, just this. Yeah. And just have basically this piece we could have used if we didn't. These are probably extra pieces, so we're just gonna figure out where this piece goes. Be done with this bag. This goes here. Okay, so I'll do a bag announcement. Then we'll move on to bag 8. And we'll take a break. See what happens after. Bag 7 builds the right side of the fuselage of the Starfighter. No need to give more detail than that. Just a summary. Now, before attaching this, I'm going to just look at bag 8 and see if it's mirrored or not. I believe the answer is yes, but I'm not 100% sure. It might be like 99% mirrored. Let's see. Actually, bug 8 looks a bit different, but still the same general idea, so I think the structure is going to be the same, so I'll keep this unattached for now. While it's fresh in my mind, I'll build bag 8. Then I'll come back to the mini build. And to avoid knocking this guy over all the time, I'll put him on a yellow brick. Also attract more attention. Is a good thing in my case. Then, like, as a centerpiece. Alright. Bag 8. Where is bag 8? Here it is. It's weird color. So this has got to be a reference to something, right? This lime green color. This is interesting. These are like the droid arms. This might be some meta part usage, not a nice part usage, where a nice part usage is actually related to the theme in question. Because usually we use these for super battle droids, right? Gunmetal gray arms. That's interesting. Okay, so there's some interesting stuff in this bag. There's this piece as well, which might be stickered. Probably. I don't plan on finding any sticker yet. Other than that, it's very similar pieces from what we saw recently in bag 7. So again, let's build the whole thing. What I found from experience is that it's best to build bottom up. So basically the equivalent of starting from the bottom and going up. That just makes the most sense. Same thing here, more or less. We know that these pieces are going to be involved, but it's not clear yet where the studs are going to be pointing. Are they going to be like this or like this? not yet clear. So we need to think about it a bit more. Probably it's like this, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll find out soon enough. For some reason this has to go here. Oh. It's very, very likely goes like this. Let's go here. Okay, it's I think a bit of a glitch in the live stream, but I think we're back to normal. Not quite sure what is that. Is a bit frozen. Okay. Trying to figure out what is the piece that goes here. It's not entirely clear to me. the dark gray piece. Could be this jumper. Okay, it might be, because I don't see like a regular snot brick. What I do know is that we have this. Perhaps looking at this from a different perspective might help. Get them on like this. Approximately evenly spaced. This will always slide them into position. Wrong way. A bit stubborn. Of course, you can spend a lot of time getting distances perfectly right. I'm not sure they're perfectly right in the show itself, or the movie itself. I think this is pretty much good enough. Okay. We know there's going to be this jumper here. Somehow this gets attached to the rest of the build. On one side it's not attached, just held like this, loosely. Essentially on this side. Might be missing a piece there, but you get the idea. Sorry. This looks like this is floating, which doesn't make sense to me. That's what I see. Maybe it's held by a combination of things. Here I made a mistake. These go like this. Then this can go here and I don't know, just float. Something like that. Very strange. Because I would think that there would be like a bracket like this. It's not visible that there is such a bracket there. But that would what would make sense to me. It's a mystery. I suppose if these are held by something else, then they're not going to go too far. Maybe they're supposed to rattle a little bit. It's just a guess. So I'll try to see if I can build the other stuff. Come to this, come back to this. This is just confusing me right now. This is very similar to before. Yeah, so we need this here. Black plate that goes here. Community needs us. I found one more of these. Count them again, otherwise this is an extra piece or it's used elsewhere. Off by one. Yes. Very easy to make an off by one mistake here. You have to disassemble everything to fix it. So this is the stuff that was here before. Now we're putting it all together. And these are going to come here. So we're going to attach them now. Although the whole thing is not very stable because it's just held by this one piece for now. There's a gray piece that goes here. It can only be this, I believe. Actually, yeah, it cannot be this. It's gotta be this. Counting the number of these, it's 6 and not 5. Just move these guys and make room for one more. And the more of these that there are, the less important it is to align them perfectly. It's more or less, yeah, looks pretty respectable. And this just fits right here, I guess. Take this away just so if it stays in place, I don't mind it. But it's pretty thick areas. I need something to go in here. Probably it's one of those L pieces. RN. Actually, this might be not this, but this might be it. 2x2. Need that slope piece with whatever it's called. Basically the one like this, but it has a notch. This. We need something here. Light gray. The only thing that fits here. This is going to go here. This will go here. Pretty much the only thing that will fill this is this, but then the color will be visible. Pretty sure that's not the right color to use. In fact, is this. With this attached, start to have like some to hold onto these. Of course, the tiles help as well. Now this is more or less stable in place, held without any actual physical connection. It's just like loose. Interesting way the designer did this. I wonder why they did it this way. Like that. this small wedge plate that is here. This here, yeah. And there needs to be. No, that's not gonna work. But actually, we disassemble this. Get rid of this. This in here, but that's gonna work. Right now, this whole thing is not very stable until we touch this. Now we can get back this assembly here with the that's definitely interesting the way this was done. Yeah, so this one goes here. This almost certainly goes here. And confirm this goes here. Also confirm that this goes here. And there's a wedge plate that goes over all this. Is this. Put it here. Does this make sense? actually goes here. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay, so these are held in place by combination. Actually, let me explain this for the benefit of my future self. In bag 8, we have a very interesting technique where this assembly is not attached by any studs on either side. So it's just a bar that is inserted into a Technic hole, so it's pretty loose. But then we have this plate, this wedge plate that gets attached on top, and then it locks it securely in place. It doesn't really go anywhere, it just wobbles a little bit. So that's definitely a very interesting solution. And while we're here, I want to point out also the meta nice part usage used here of these super battle droid arms used in a Star Wars context, but as engine detail or ship detail in general, instead of being used as super battle droid arms. So it's very interesting to see, very meta. All right, back. Look again. Okay. Let's check the stats while we're here. You're stable in terms of the stats. If you're watching, you're not subscribed yet, now is a good time. If you put something in the chat while we're live, you have a chance to enter the giveaway. If you bring basically a million other friends with you, one of you will win the Death Star. I see something interesting happening here. Essentially, we're doing this. Bottom. These are not hollow studs, by the way, just regular studs. We're doing this from top as well. But it looks like they're connected, but they're not actually connected. I wonder what's the purpose of this assembly right here. Usually this is used for stud reversal, but here the studs are pointing up. Here also the studs are pointing up, so there's no reversal here. Besides just these two pieces. but then these are not connected. They look like they're connected. This is going to get attached where this is probably not going to be visible, so I'm wondering what is the deal with this. I hope we'll find out between now and the end of the build. Maybe it's a hidden reference to a character. I know in some UCS sets, like we got like some studs in characteristic colors for specific minifigures. But could that the case? Could that be the case here? I got this wrong. This actually is this. And this goes here. This gap is intentional. Cannot attach this until after we attach this stuff here, so we're basically forced to start building this part if we go here, so probably better to build this stuff first. We'll get to this eventually. Just a question of finding the best order of operations to do things. These are nice because they allow us to build quickly. I think we're pretty much done here. And so from here all the way to here, we're done. Other than the sticker that goes here that I will not apply at this time. Now we can do some work here maybe, but eventually we'll have to start working here as well. This goes here. See this. Now this goes here. There might be like something to fill this gap, but I'm not sure what. In any case, that gap is not visible from my angle, so Look at numbers. This goes up. 2. There's no 1x2 tile. We have to use the two 1x1s next to each other. This is another example of parts inflation, although it might be justified if they save on frames doing this. Not for new parts, but I guess existing parts within a bag. I don't think it's too bad, but it's worth pointing out at least. This I can do. The other parts that go here, they require the hinge to be done, but essentially this is pretty much done. Yeah, basically just a few parts here. The rest of this is done. Now we can start to build the other side, this part of it. This part done at the very least. And now this. Have this, and we're done now with this part of it. Now we just need to work on this part. Only a few pieces left. This is very similar to what we did before. Okay, these can go here, just like before. Just like before. If you're an OG, you know what that refers to. This goes here, obviously. I think we're either done or very close to done. Just this. I believe we're done. And so now this probably goes here. I don't think it matters anymore. This is pretty stable. Oh yeah, I can do the bag announcement for bag 8. Bag 8 builds the left side of the fuselage cladding, and it's not completely mirrored compared to bag 7. There are some differences, especially in this part right here, which uses an interesting building technique to lock this assembly in place without attaching it using any studs. And now with both bags 7 and 8 done, we can attach them to the main build. So I'll do this. Temporarily, I've turned off my camera because this might find its way into the summary. It's not quite sure how yet, but just a few seconds of it probably. But this we said is the left, which corresponds to, you only see a portion of it here. I wonder if I can zoom out. Okay, and I was able to zoom out a little bit using a wide angle lens. So essentially we have to connect like, okay, so this is right? So this has to connect here. We're going to connect with the ball joints, but is there anything else that we connect with? I think it's just here, here, and here. Let's give it a try. Like this. And make sure to push this piece to the back in order to attach it. And same thing on the other side. This is starting to get quite long. And heavy. And this attaches like this. And this is a look at the completed build from the bottom and the top. At this point, it feels kind of like a fish, not a fish, but like those manta rays or something like that. Yeah, it's quite big and it feels alive just because it's so organic and has all these curves to it. It feels a bit surreal. And now, as promised, we will take a break from building the big boy and build the little version of this, the mini-me that they were giving out at the Lego store. I'll do like a proper video intro for that. For that, I'll keep my camera off as well, and same with the music, because I'm going to take this part of the video, basically convert it into its own video. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm currently recording this as I do a live build of the Giant Ultimate Collector series Mandalorian N-1 Starfighter that was released in May 2026. And to commemorate this occasion, LEGO released a mini-me version of this set, basically a microscale version. This was given away at various LEGO stores on May 2nd and May 3rd, and perhaps other dates in different parts of the world. And I'm now going to build it without the instructions, relying only on the reference image that was available on LEGO.com at the time. I happen to have saved it, and I'm putting it now on the screen so you can see what I'm referring to. I'll be looking at this reference image and building this set from that reference image. Unusually for a make and take, this set is packaged in this unlabeled poly bag, which means that this might be featured in a future advent calendar or some future event, or it might be sold as part of some other larger set or collection, but this has not been confirmed at the time of the recording. So without further ado, let's open the paper bag. So without further ado, let's open the poly bag and start the build. Actually, what I do for these is I sort out the pieces. I did not get an inventory of the pieces, so I suppose it's useful for my future self as well as other viewers to do this. So I'll come back with the camera and do the music because this takes a while. I do this for every paper bag or poly bag that I review. I manually lay out the pieces. There's no AI that does that for me. It's not at the time of this recording. But the number of pieces is not very large. I believe this is an extra, but I'm not sure. You have to put pieces in like ways such that they don't roll away. I put pieces like of similar types and colors next to each other, as you might have been able to guess. I'll put the extra pieces in a separate pile. This piece is not really visible here, so I'll move it to black on black. It's not really the most visible. Move over here, yeah, here the light hits it better. this as well to go. Alright, we're done sorting. This here as well. And I'll again turn off my camera and the music for this. At least the presentation part of it. In this set, we got the following parts shown right here. The minifigure and brick, yellow brick are not included. These are the extra parts that are included. The brick separator is not included. And the Ultimate Collector Series N-1 is not included. All the rest are sold separately. These are extra parts for this big ship, not for the small ship. And with that being said, let's do the build without the instructions. Bring back the music for now. I'm going to speed this part up anyway. Just due to video editing reasons, it helps me do this without the camera being on. I have the reference image in front of me that I'll be referring to that. It only shows it from one angle, but I'll manage. Again, this is another example where they could have done like one piece instead of two. It's probably again just to reduce the number of unique parts in the set. Pretty sure that's why they did that. Just due to the nature of this specific build, it makes more sense to build it back to front. Usually I build like bottom up, but now I'm doing top down. Basically building what I can see first. And then use the process of elimination for the rest. This might block that stuff that comes underneath it, so I'll leave it for later. It looks like this is not an extra piece after all. It's interesting the way they did this. Actually, show it as having like no gaps at all. That's you cannot replicate what they did in the render. Probably a mistake. This is like, because this is done for kids, the most likely thing is that this is how it's done. Right? Of course, did write some space for the clip. I think this is about it. Yeah, they're not going to ask kids to do something much more complicated than this. Yeah, this is not visible in the render that was available on Lego.com at the time that this was available. Oh well. Let's go like this. No, not quite. That's more like it. No, for sure, this is going to be part of it. Then we also know that these will be attached like so. We also know that these are going to be like this. Through the process of elimination, there's only basically 2 pieces left. At this point, it's fairly obvious to conclude that this will be the rest of the build. Even though I've not seen it from any other angle, but I don't need to. There's no other way for these pieces to fit together in a way that matches what is shown in the reference image. This is the only possible way to do it. When you don't have that many pieces, it's pretty easy to arrive to that conclusion. The same principle I used to build this small set can also be used to build the big set, one bag at a time. And we're done with the build. I'm going to save my commentary, my full review for a separate video that I'll do offline, not on the live stream. I'll just say while I'm here, it's a worthy model. Like, comparing this to a poly bag. Let's see, do I have a poly bag right in front of me? Yes. This is, I'd say, a bit less substantial than a poly bag, but they're comparable. This and this are comparable. This is offered at $0. This is offered at like $5 or $6. Actually, let's say, given the visual impact, they're roughly similar, although this feels heavier in the hand. Of course, none of these include minifigures. If they do this plus a minifigure, that would be pretty good value. I know they can do it, but they just don't. They want to juice as much value as they can for their Star Wars customers, and I know also Disney. They have a big Disney tax. I've been hearing recently. But yeah, just look at this from all the angles, and if you have any particular thoughts about it, you can put them in the chat. Yeah, I think this is a worthy build. Doesn't have any drum lacquered silver pieces. Like if they include like just one or two drum lacquered silver pieces, just to include like just to give the idea. But it looks like that was out of budget for a set they're giving away for free. Like they just taken, I don't know, like maybe this piece here or this piece here, something, just something small to give the idea. But that's okay. Yeah, again, I'll have more thoughts on this in a dedicated video. Relatively short dedicated video because there's only so much you could say about a tiny set like this. Now I'm gonna look at the next bag, bag number 9, and then I'll think about whether to build it or not because I have multiple other obligations. I would like to keep doing this live stream, but I'm not sure. Let's see, bag 9, here's bag 9. Is it feasible for me to do bag 9? Yeah, bag 9 looks to be somewhat complicated. Lots of stuff going on, clips and hinges and stuff, so yeah, I'll probably leave this for another time. Interesting parts here, but we ran out of time today, unfortunately. But still, we made some good progress. Here's the build as it is today. So we basically built this side, of course, this cute little thing. It's not bad for one night, especially when other things are also going on. I'll let you leave your thoughts, your final thoughts in the chat. Last chance to enter the giveaway for today. There will still be other chances on other days of the week, days of the month. I'll put the brick separator down as an indicator to myself. I can stop the live streaming. Whenever I see this on my end, it means that I'm done. All right. Bye, everyone.